This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com. Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 6/6/22, show number 395. Well, Nick, we got a lot to talk about. We hadn't talked for the past week. I was away, but Natgas on fire, and we totally nailed it.
Yeah, we just talked about that. That's the irony. Just 2 weeks ago, we were saying how Natgas is just resilient and remains very, very strong. And today it's up over 8% at the moment, trading at 293 as we speak. So, I mean, Natgas is just simply on fire. A lot of people should take note that we are now approaching a the next big level will be really at 1020. That's going to be a big 618 retrace going back on a monthly chart. So I think that's where it's headed. And that's still another buck higher from where we are now.
And could well go to 15 in the not too distant future, huh?
That's right. I mean, as scary as that is to say, doesn't seem like anything is stopping the energy freight train. And I'm going to call it a freight train at this stage of the game because that's what it is. You know, if you just go back and look at the 2020 lows in June 2020, Natgas was trading at 143. It's now at 923, and I said it's headed to 10. After 10, it goes to 12. After 12, you go back and test the 2008 highs. That's around 1335, 1337, and then after that, it's $15.78, which is a 2005 top. And you know, when you think of the policy that's going on in this country, what's to say it can't get there? Right now, we're actually supplying Europe with Natgas, creating our own higher price here for ourselves. It's just it's so backwards. You just can't even, and it doesn't look like it's going forward anytime soon.
Yeah, there was an article in Zero Hedge that 20% of our nat gas that's being produced is going into LNG, which then goes on to ships, shipped off to Europe and Asia, because in Europe and Asia, well, in Turkey alone, it's $18. In Bulgaria, it's 22. That's why, you know, we've got a sponsor on Financial Survival Network. Trillion Energy is almost ready to drill in the Black Sea, and they just can't drill fast enough. And they've got a project in Bulgaria too. So interesting things ahead. Hey, well, I thought when Comrade de Blasio was no longer mayor of New York, that the news cycle would get a little duller in terms of personalities, but that was before Elon Musk injected himself into the scene, huh?
Oh, Elon is just on fire these days. I mean, he's talking about Epstein. He's talking about so many things. And the latest and greatest today is that he's now pressing Twitter again, requesting more data to facilitate his evaluation of spam and fake accounts. That was the headline this morning. And it sounds like this deal is really in trouble, this takeover deal, especially if Twitter is not going to cooperate, which it seems like they're not doing. So, you know, this is probably going to go to court. And honestly, I can't see Elon losing this. I don't know how much of his rights he signed away on this deal. But overall, I can't see him paying $54 a share. This stock's probably at best worth $32 right now.
Well, you know what, he might wind up paying 42.00 as in 420. That seems to be his favorite number.
Well, that's certainly a possibility, and I think shareholders of Twitter should be happy with that, because realistically, when I looked at the chart today, and I've been getting so many requests to analyze this chart, I said 32.50 is what I see fair value at. So we'll see what comes out of this. But Elon Musk, I mean, the guy don't stop.
Could be 34.20. Right?
It could be. There's certainly that possibility. I mean, yeah. You know, I would say low to mid 30s at best.
Yeah, well, you look at the chart, this thing is a dumpster fire.
It really is. It's really not a good chart whatsoever. And it was looking really good when he first got on board, to possibly make it up even a little higher to probably 56. Now this thing collapsed, and it's really not a good looking chart. I honestly, if he pulls out of this deal, this thing will be $34 in a flash and probably go down to 32.
Yeah, and probably lower than that. I mean, I look at the chart. It's an ugly chart. It peaked in February of 2021, and it's been all downhill ever since.
Yeah, in fact, it's made lower highs since then. And even after the Elon news, which was at 54.50, that going back to April, it's now made another lower high, and that is not a bullish formation.
And the thing just seems to be a dumpster fire in terms of they aren't really, their reputation is outsized compared to their analytics. That's what he's basically saying. And that what he thought he was paying for doesn't really exist. But enough Twitter for now. So markets are rallying higher today.
Yeah, we got a little rally on our hands today. After a big Friday sell-off, the markets really sold off sharply going into the Friday close. But so far, the rally today is pretty decent. It's being led by the NASDAQ, which is technology. So that means risk is on a bit. You also have the Russell 2000 acting well, so that's a little bit more of a positive in the near term. But just remember, these markets have been very, very volatile day to day, and that's not likely to change anytime soon. So hang on, take the Dramamine when you get up in the morning if you're looking to trade this market.
Yeah. All right. So we already talked about Natgas. Gold is kind of like down a little bit. Silver's up.
Yeah, gold's not doing all that much today. Silver's up nicely, though. Silver's up 1%. So that's actually behaving pretty well today. Gold, though, is taking a breather. I don't see anything terrible here for gold at the moment on the daily chart. As you know, a while back, I told everybody here we'd go test that 1785 level. That's going to be your bounce. And sure enough, that is held up, and it's still holding as of right now. So gold is showing no signs, no real problems here.
And finally, Bitcoin bouncing today, up 5%. It's back over 31,000.
Yes. So Bitcoin has been doing a little bit of what we call the cha-cha in the business. It did make a move higher right around May 31st, then came back in, now making a move up again. It looks like it's trying to do a zigzag up pattern. I think that pattern is still intact, but just remember, Bitcoin is in a downtrend. So if this bull pattern does not play out to fruition like I think it should, then that would tell us this is set for a big move lower. But so far, it's hanging in there pretty well today.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com, and see how he's outperformed the markets for decades. The Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, and at Kerry Lutz. Emails are welcome, KL@kerrylutz.com. Nick, we'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Sounds good, Kerry.